Hello everyone, I'm here to do a collective reading, so if you are here, this might be for you. However, if it's not fit, do not force it. Take only what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so, we are going to get into a tarot reading. Let's see, I don't know what deck we're using. By the way, I found my Wild Unknown Archetype book. I found the book. It's been missing for over a year, but I found it. And you know what? Why not use that one? I'll be right back. Scratch that. Okay, so we're gonna do it a different day because I had moved a bunch of stuff out of my old place because my old roommate finally moved out of that place. So I grabbed the rest of my stuff that was left over. I found it, but now I have boxes to go through. So, but it's in there somewhere. I have it, and I'm so excited to get into using it again. But yeah, let's see what deck Spirit wants us to use. Nope. Yes. We're going with the Osho Zen today. Oh, I thought there was something on my face, but it's actually on my phone screen. Okay, Spirit, we're going with the Osho Zen today. What do we have for the collective? Please tap me into the collective's energy, Spirit. Okay, what do we have for the collective today, Spirit? Whatever messages you would like to bring through. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Vision and guidance. Okay, so the very first message that I got right away is that somebody could be having some sort of clairvoyant upgrades, okay? You could be having more visions, or you could be, you could be having more visions. You could be seeing things more clearly. You could be getting messages through vision, which could be not typical for you, okay? Another thing here is that we have some sort of working together with spirit, okay? There's a surrendering to spirit. There's a surrendering to flow. Here we have an angel, and then in this hanged man, it looks like there's feathers back there, okay? I'm really getting this surrendering to, there's a huge trust here. There's a huge trust here. And we have the moon card as well. There is unknown factors moving forward, okay? But it's like you have overcome some sort of personal limitation, some sort of box that you put yourself in. And I feel that this box could have very well have been like a trapping, like a desire to control. Because if we flip the Hanged Man upside down, this is a lack of surrender. This is a lack of sacrifice. This is not wanting to let go of control. This is wanting to have everything planned out step by step. And it seems as though you're letting spirit kind of take the wheel here. Or you're being urged to, whatever place you are at this point. Okay, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3 could be a significant number for you guys at this time. Okay, you're feeling very held right now by spirit. There's a lot of trust. Like it's like I can almost like taste the trust. That sounds so weird. But I mean, clair abilities work in really weird ways. It's like I can almost taste the trust. There's an excitement here. There's a liveliness here. Okay, but in this Osho Zen Tarot, the new vision card is of opening the self up to new ways of seeing. It's like using what you have learned and building off of those lessons, and also like, it's like you have recreated the self. You have stepped into, it's like I think there's a level of alchemy here. There's a level of, you have transformed yourself, okay, with this new vision card. All right. You're seeing things in new perspectives, and you're using all the elements of all of the lessons you have learned to move you forward and to allow yourself to flow with divine guidance, okay? Beautiful energy. You are now presented with an opportunity to see life in all its dimensions, from the depths to the heights. They exist together, and when we come to know from experience that the dark and the difficult are needed as much as the light and easy, then we begin to have a very different perspective on the world. Okay, so maybe in the past, you felt the need to control things because of the darkness, because of heaviness, because of the unknown. Okay, you were acting out of a state of fear. There's no judgment here. Most humans do. We all do from time to time, or all the time, depending on who a person is. It takes time to work through different fears, all right? There's levels of fears. There's levels of fears in different areas. Okay, so in some area of your life, or in multiple areas of your life, you were working through a modality of fear where you were trying to resist some sort of re-happening through control by a controlling modality, trying to prepare for every what's around every dark corner, or trying to prepare for what pain you may endure here. It's like in the past you endured a lot of pain. You were crawling on your hands and knees. You reached this place of surrender through allowing yourself to be almost beaten down. At some point you could have felt victimized by the unknown. You could have felt victimized by the flow of life or something like that. And you came to a spot where you felt almost, I'm getting this feeling here when I'm looking at this part of the card. This man crawling on his hands and knees. You came to a point where you felt almost helpless to either your divine path or to what was coming towards you, or like you were experiencing some sort of cycle repeatedly, and it brought you to your knees. And when you were brought to your knees, you were able to understand, you were able to drop into the depths and understand some very, very deep things. We have the Ace of Swords, the consciousness. Yeah, you were able to understand something very deep within yourself about some sort of cycle, okay? And once you were able to see this, oh my gosh, we have the Seven of Swords, the King of Cups here. You were able to see the ways in which you betray yourself. You were able to witness at the very core of yourself the ways in which you perpetuate cycles of victimization, perpetuate cycles of fear and of betrayal, self-betrayal, of trickery in your environment. Like you went within to figure out where you were playing a role in your own suffering, where you were playing a role in your own repeated patterns. Okay, so it's like, yeah, you might have had a lot of things coming at you from the outside, trying to knock you to your knees. But the thing is focusing on those things outside of you trying to bring you down is what kept you repeating this cycle. And so once you were finally brought down to your knees, you were able to just drop in. Okay, you were still moving forward, but you were crawling, and you were exhausted, and there was a lot of heaviness, and due to this heaviness and this weakness in the knees, you were moving forward, but you couldn't keep walking. You were crawling because it's like, again, you were helpless, you were maybe hopeless. There was a loss of, wow, this is really deep. There was a loss of maybe not faith. There wasn't a loss of faith, but maybe a loss of hope. It's like you had faith that things would turn, but you had lost a hope. Okay, and because you were so low to the ground there, you weren't able to see from a higher perspective. You dropped into the inside. I'm seeing it's like I saw a vision of something being dropped into the water, and it just like a rock, and it just falling straight to the bottom. And when you went down in there, you were able to recognize where you were perpetuating cycles of attack or abuse, or of being oppressed, or etc., etc. These states of victimization or feeling trapped. You were able to see where it was coming from within yourself. Okay? There's something about the new moon that just passed, some sort of healing, some sort of releasing, okay, some sort of set intention Okay, because we have the waning crescent here, and this is the exact moon phase that we are in at this time. Okay, you were able to understand from a place of depth. Again, from your core, you were able to understand the ways in which you were stepping on yourself, the ways in which you were betraying yourself. Okay? And with this Three of Pentacles here, I'm getting an interesting message. There's this angel, and then there's this woman that's looking backwards. Okay? Again, you were always looking externally. You were looking at what was being done to you over and over again. And there was a lack of healing because of this. Okay, there was a over focus on what you had been through and had continued to go through. There was continued focus on the pain of some sort of cycle. Okay, and this made you fearful of the future. This made you fearful of the unknown. This made you repeat cycles, and understanding where you played your part in that has allowed you to gain some sort of very deep clarity. Okay, very deep clarity on not only the cycle, but on who you are even. Okay, with this new vision, you are able to see things now from all angles. You have, it's like some sort of vantage point, and you're using all sorts of different elements to heal. I heard to integrate. Okay, with this Three of Pentacles, this is a card of focus in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. The Three of Pentacles, if it's not about collaboration or co-creation, it's about a focus. It's about a dedicated effort to the self and to like a self project internally or externally. Okay, and for this is definitely internal. Okay. And something about the way the mind processes, the way the mind works. Again, you had this over focus on the wrong parts of situations, okay? On the pain, on the fear. And again, this perpetuated that and an endless cycle of these things. Now that you have moved out of that, now that you understand where it was coming from, you've definitely started to heal the heart. It's like you have begun to protect your sense of self with this healing card. You've begun to protect your sense of self, and you've begun to protect your vision. Okay, your personal spiritual vision is what I'm picking up here. There's been some sort of heart activation. You're healing the heart. Okay, you're starting to see things through the heart space again as you relinquish control of the unknown. Okay. With this guidance card, here I'm going to read it from the book. This is such an interesting energy. The Osho Zen always provides such interesting messages. Okay, the truth of your own deepest being is trying to show you where to go right now. Okay, that's where you tapped in, the core. And when this card appears, it means you can trust the inner guidance you are being given. It speaks in whispers, and sometimes we can hesitate, not knowing if we understood rightly, but the indications are clear. In following the inner guide, you will feel more whole, more integrated. I said something about integrated. As if you are moving outwards from the very center of your being, the core of your being. If you go with it, this beam of light will carry you exactly where you need to go. There's a full surrender. There's a trust in the self. There's a knowing. Big time, this is a know thyself, trust thyself. And that's coming from a connection to one, spirit, and two, a connection to the all. Closely related, not exactly the same here. But there's a serious trust in where you're going, where you're headed. Okay, you're building upon elements that you have pulled together that you once didn't pull together, they were scattered. I feel like there was lots of elements that were scattered at some point, and you have brought together these elements to initiate some grand healing. Some something about a grand trine. Okay, grand. The word grand is like, in my mind right now, it's like in bold letters, and it's also got like a glowing highlight. Okay, grand. Ooh, that's exciting. That's exciting energy. What else do we have here, Spirit? Ooh, that was pretty. Ooh, we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, this is the space that you were in before. You were very overthought. You were very trapped in the mind in these cycles where you were fearing the pain, fearing, you know, it was like a constant fear for what was ahead of you. You were moving out of fear. You were working, you were manifesting out of fear. And this created, you know, a sense of isolation. This created a sense of, there was a very perturbed energy, a disturbed energy, a feeling of nervousness, a feeling maybe of guilt, a feeling, like these are very deep feelings, darker feelings of self-blame, they're intense. It's very, there's a certain word I'm looking for. Intense, it's self-something, okay? And you were repeating this. You were repeating this over and over again. It's like you couldn't get out of this. There was a desire to be saved by another. There was a desire to have someone to guide the way. Again, as I said in the beginning, you were always looking externally, and you were always looking back, and you were always trying to prepare, and this desire to prepare kept you stuck because you were preparing for the same thing that had already happened, so it happened again. Okay, you were unconsciously manifesting. There was something unconscious that you have brought to the conscious. Okay, and this could very well be a past life cycle. It doesn't have to be for all of you. Okay, but this could very well be something that you have repeated either a lot in this lifetime or even in the past. Okay, in past lifetimes. There was something very repetitive that had gone on. It came from a wounded child. A childhood wound. Okay? Intense pain. Intense depression. Okay? This 9 of Swords. But there's that intensity, right? You were very quick to lock yourself out. Block yourself out. Shut yourself down. Okay? You victimized yourself. Yeah. Okay, it was, you victimized yourself through your own wounding. You victimized yourself through your own perspective. Okay? And you were able to drop within and to really, like, it's like you brought a torch down there. You dropped to your knees here. But it was like you had a light. You had a light, a torch, a flashlight. I don't know. You brought light down with you. And you illuminated something within yourself that had, it seems to have eluded you for quite some time. This cycle, this repetitive cycle of self-betrayal and of self-sabotage, quite possibly. Okay, because that definitely comes from a 9 of Swords energy. 1 second, I need some water. It's so crazy. You know how I was saying you went down to the core of yourself? This 9 of Swords says, in order for transformation to happen, we must go deep, to the very roots of our pain, and experience it as it is without blame or self-pity. Okay? So you did this. You recognize nobody's going to save me. Nobody's going to show me the way. Nobody's going to grab my hand and do my work for me. Okay? And here you found an understanding of the self and an acceptance of the self. That's big here. An acceptance of the self. You cannot trust thyself without acceptance of thyself. Okay? When you choose this card, this Ace of Swords here, It means that there is a crystal clarity available right now, detached, rooted in the deep stillness that lies at the core of your being. There is no desire to understand from the perspective of the mind. The understanding you have now is existential, whole, in harmony with the pulse of life itself. As I was saying, the flow of life, okay? You really went within, and I'd seen the Four of Cups as well. I think that some of you, not all of you, but some of you definitely spent time in solitude and meditation here to really unravel some very deep wounds within you, okay, that held you back and kept you in this cycle. It was self-perpetuated. Okay, can I get some more information on this Three of Pentacles? What is the collective being guided in here by the self through the all? Okay, this connection to the all is guiding you. It's like you're seeing through. You're seeing straight through something. The abundance. Oh, wow. And breakthrough? That's crazy powerful. I'm just smiling because that's like, wow. Okay, you are moving towards, there's structure and stability that you're moving towards. You're being guided towards this embodiment of an abundance of energy, towards this this equilibrium, this balance within your life. And this is like something that it's like, maybe you haven't had the most stability or structure in the physical or something like that, okay, with this earth energy. And it's like, with this Justice card, this breakthrough, you are moving towards stability and structure in the physical, okay? You had enough of something. And you had enough of something. You went in and you broke out, okay? It's like... It's like a rising. It's like a phoenix. That's what I'm getting here now. Like when I went like that, bow, you know, you rose out of the shadows I just heard. Okay, you implemented your own darkness. There's a balance here. I'm looking at the two moons. Is that what they are? Moons? Maybe they're suns. I don't know. Suns and moons. Okay, you brought the subconscious, the unconscious to the conscious. And it's creating a great equilibrium within you. Let's read this abundance card here. Man, I wanna drink tea with this guy. This guy looks so chill. If you are a woman, the King of Rainbows brings the support of your own male energies into your life, a union with the soulmate within. For a man, this card represents a time of breaking through the conventional male stereotypes and allowing the fullness of the whole human being to shine forth. Okay, and I'm going to read that in accordance with the Justice card, the Breakthrough card. If you are now feeling that enough is enough, allow yourself to take the risk of shattering the old patterns and limitations that have kept your energy from flowing. In doing so, you will be amazed at the vitality and empowerment this breakthrough can bring to your life. So yeah, maybe there's some sort of limitations. It was your own limitations, for sure. Okay, but you internalized limitations from the external and made them your own, is what it is, okay? This is either societal or familial, or maybe this was through romantic relationships or friends. I'm not quite sure what it is for each and every, maybe it's every single one of those, you know? But there was some sort of limitations and this expectation that was placed upon you, quite possibly as a child, that went against your own inner nature, that went against your own feeling of authority, okay? It's like you have taken back this authority through healing these limitations, okay? Through releasing them. It did not serve you. You have released all that which has not served you, and you have been liberated. You have liberated yourself because you had enough of your own bullshit. That's the only way that you bring about this kind of breakthrough and growth is by getting tired of your own bullshit, okay? Because you're not going to be saved by anybody. especially when you're the one that is perpetuating your own cycles here. And now you understand this, and you've broken out like a phoenix rising from the ashes, and you're here to create something, and you're here to illuminate others, it feels like, with this Hanged Man card. Well, I'm not even going to say Hanged Man, this New Vision card, because this Hanged Man card is so much different than the traditional Rider-Waite, okay? You have liberated yourself from your own prison. There's a victorious feeling here. It's more than victory, though, because it's not like a winning. It's just how do I express this energy? It's a liberation, yes. It's a freeing. It's a releasing. There's freedom here. There's reinvigoration. Okay, there's empowerment from a place of stability and trust in the self, okay? Ordinariness. This is a card that speaks of being okay with being average, right? Like here with the dream card, it's though you were fantasizing about some sort of greater purpose or that someone was going to come and save you. You were fantasizing about something outside, something extraordinary to come and change your life. But after so much of the same thing happening over and over again, you realize that it was something within you that was continuing this cycle. There was something within you, and it happened to be this feeling of, I don't know, maybe even, I don't want to offend anybody here, so please don't take offense to this. There could have been, because we all have this quality in us to one measure or another, there might have been some sort of like arrogance, like an over focus on like a self-importance or something like that, as though you were to, I don't know, be alleviated without facing this shame, this guilt, without facing the self. You know, you can't have the breakthrough, you can't have the abundance, you can't have the love of your life, you can't have the force of creation without facing the self, understanding the self, and in turn, trusting the self. Okay? Powerful, collective, powerful. Okay, there's been an absolute transformation here of perspective, of energy, of the masculine energy. Okay? Where at one point you feel like you had to fight because you were so scared, because there was this fear of things repeating and repeating. So you fought it off and you fought it off and you fought it off, but it kept you, it kept you fighting, and it made you exhausted, and it brought you to your knees. It was like an energetic rock bottom. I mean, maybe for some of you there was a rock bottom, but I'm not like feeling that. Maybe just emotionally or energetically here, okay? And in that space, you were like, well, there's nothing else, so I'm just gonna, you got sucked inside like a vacuum. Like your insides were like come here. and you had a little light in your hand, too. You had, like, you were clutching a flashlight or a torch or something like that. And you brought that in with you. And you illuminated. And you burned up all the shit that was not serving you. All the shit that was causing you to, repeat such a harsh cycle. Okay. What was the cycle, Spirit? What was the cycle? Oop. You did want to come out. Okay. In the reverse, the cycle is, it was a cycle of carelessness, of domestic upset, of anxiety, rigidity, deceit. Okay, Berkana in the reverse. Family problems, creative blocks. Okay, you were repeating this cycle of definitely issues with the family, okay? Family problems, domestic upset. Issues with, and even if this isn't like blood-related family, soul family, or friends that were so close that they were family, or family like situations. You kept repeating cycles of deceit within or upset within family or domestic units. Okay? It's like you were faced repeatedly with carelessness from the external. You were faced repeatedly with people being careless towards you or rigid towards you or impatient with you, as though you didn't have your own problems. And it's because you weren't allowing yourself, you weren't caring for those parts of yourself. You were stagnating your own growth through having an impatience with yourself. Okay? It was reflecting on the external. All right? And you have flipped this. You have alchemized it into this energy of growth, of peace, and liberation's on here, okay? You have patience with yourself now. It's like you're dreaming again. You're creating again. You are, wow, there's multiple words on here that I've said. We have growth, liberation, regeneration, and creation. Those were all words that I said before this card came out here, okay? You now have the power to create your own reality. You have harnessed this power, okay, of creating your own reality through fully diving deep and understanding the self and a certain wound, okay? You're no longer, we have the forced card. You're no longer forcing others to care. You're no longer forcing others to be patient with you. You're no longer forcing others, it's like to, again, do your work for you in some sort of way or take care of it. You're not forcing others to help you and hold your hand through some sort of situation. It's like maybe you felt like there was some sort of lack of support, and you found when you went to the core that you had to be your own form of support, okay? Because again, no one was coming to save you. And that's just a reality of humanness, okay, is that we save ourselves. We're the only ones that can save ourselves. I mean, even if you do get help and support, people can help and support another all they want. But if that person is not helping themselves, they will not be helped. It's no one else's job to save you. It's no one else's job to heal you. It's no one else's job to hold your hand, okay? As much as that might be a desire, right? It's no one else's job. And you found this. That might have been very hard for you to accept here too. But you did. You did. And now it's through that acceptance, you have awakened a vast well of wisdom. You have awakened a vast well of intuition that moves you forward, okay? And it's through flow. It's like you're feeling the breeze with this card here. You feel the breeze switch, and then you like move with it, okay? And it's like this dance. It's like you're in some sort of dance with the universe, okay? It's so beautiful. What else do we have here, Spirit, for the collective? What else do we have here? All three chords, sensitive. Okay, you were sensitive to the external environment. And I'm getting left ear ringing. You were sensitive to those outside of you and the guidance of others because you were looking for guidance outside of yourself. Okay, because you weren't trusting yourself, because you didn't fully know where you wanted to go or something like that. Okay, there was an attachment. There was an attachment to things outside of the self. Okay, and through bringing the unconscious to the conscious, you have detached from this external force or these external forces that caused you to feel sensitive, that caused you to, again with that Nine of Swords, caused you to feel like you were in this state of isolation. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to stop there. We're going to go in with a Gaia Oracle. Here. Actually, no, we're not. We're going in with a Rainbow Warrior Activation. What do we have for this message? Rainbow Warrior Activation. What do we have to close out this message, Spirit, for the collective? What do we have? Ooh. Number 12. I don't know if I've ever pulled this one before. And we have number 6 as well. Okay, this is number 12. Beautiful purple, blue, this indigo, this third eye. Okay. Darkness is this card. Darkness. Balance, duality, transition, teacher, transformation, void, density, unconscious. Okay? This is tapping into, as I mentioned, the balance, the transformation, the unconscious. The density that was this repetitive cycle. The density, the heaviness that brought you down to your knees. The darkness showed him the ways his life had not been his own. All this time, she'd been doing the secret bidding of the dark angel, unaware of the creeping impact on her view. When you are unaware of the unconscious spiritual patterns that drive you, ultimately, they will change the circumstances of your life. At times, you are looking for a light in a dark place. At others, you are the light in a dark place. At the end of every cycle, there is a transition to a new beginning. It is the most dangerous time in the course of events and should be respected with reverence and caution. Sometimes it is filled with depression, anxiety, apathy. Feeling disconnected and careless, even for a time, holds great power and requires immense discipline. Restless disregard, which may arise from having freed of ties, all 3 chords, okay? Restless disregard, which may arise from having been freed of ties and obligations belonging to the previous phase, can easily cause you to miss the gems that will prepare you for the cycle ahead. The good news? You are assured that darkness always gives way to light, and there will be a time to move forward again. Okay, so you were in this period of in-between most recently, okay, where you dropped down into and you came through this phase of, clear knowing. You came into this modality of awareness of the self, of knowing thyself and trusting thyself, okay? But right before this new vision took hold, you had to be very careful with the ways in which you held yourself and the ways in which you processed things in your mind, okay? It was like there was a period where you didn't understand exactly how to see things. And maybe you're still moving through this transitionary period, right? So you're being asked here to be careful, okay? Not careless, as you may have been in the past or faced with in the past. To be careful, okay? So that you may respect this transition, so that you may understand the purpose of this transition. You can't just go from one to the other. Okay, whether you're in that transition right now or you have already moved through this transition. Okay, you're being asked, if you are in this transition, you are being asked to reflect on all the things that got you to this point and what you have done personally to raise yourself out of the ashes like this phoenix. Okay? Because there should be a sense of pride for the work that you have done. Okay? You have broken out of some sort of cycle that began either in your childhood or even in a past life. Okay? There is something that kept you restricted, kept you small, kept you feeling oppressed, kept you feeling isolated. You have broken out of this cycle. Okay? and you have taken action to change something within yourself. And this something within yourself is your own self-belief and your hope. Okay, in moving forward, in implementing your vision, in creating your own reality. There's a trusting in the self. There is now this awareness that there is a vast and unlimited amount of potential and energy, and that you have the power to create whatever it is that you would like to create. Okay, and we have ancestors, which we have that number 6 card here, the feathers. And the 3 feathers is taking me as well to the 3 of Pentacles, the guidance. And we have the ancestors in the past life card. Okay? Understanding what came before you will assist in your current situation, either to clarify what traditions may need to be retired, or to point to the strengths and support you are endowed with through your ancestral line. Okay, it is embracing the teachings and wisdom of your ancestors that they leave behind. Know that your spiritual family surrounds you with love, strength, support, and innovative resolutions to all your life's challenges. I'm getting 2 messages here. One is that this is something that was, if it wasn't past life, this is something that has been generational, okay, that you have healed. This is something you have alchemized. Give yourself a pat on the back, okay? A round of applause, because you have broken through some sort of portal here, okay? That your ancestors or your parents, your grandparents, and your ancestors before them, okay? That they were not able to overcome because they did not have this clarity. They did not have this clarity of their own subconscious, unconscious, okay? And you have overcome that. The second message that I'm getting is that you are being celebrated in the spirit right now by your ancestors, by your loved ones, by your passed on loved ones, okay? Reach out. Reach out. They're there regardless, but there's no reason to not show gratitude. There's no reason to not pray to your ancestors. There's no reason to not if you have the space and you have the knowledge to build an altar for your loved ones, because they have helped you move through this situation, okay? This, not the situation, but this experience of the self, of this cycle of generational energy, okay? Transformation on the bottom of the deck. They have helped you through this transformation and this rising like a phoenix. I'm seeing wings here. I don't know what this is exactly in the back, but I'm again going to take it as a phoenix, okay? We have the lotus flower here a few times as well. This is growth, okay? This is growth. This is fertility, and the Berkana card is also about fertility here, okay? Life cycles, the Berkana card as well. There is something in the energy that is very fertile right now, okay? This is where that abundance energy is coming from, where you're being guided, how you're being guided, and what you're being guided by is that abundance energy within you, okay? This lotus energy is wanting you to understand that it is very potent and it is very fertile for creation at this time. You have very powerful manifestation abilities present within you at this time. And I'm getting something about the hands as well. I just saw hands. I just saw hands in my mind's eye. There's something about your hands, the power of your hands. I don't know if some of you practice Reiki or some sort of physical healing through the hands, but it comes naturally. Sensitive. It comes, yeah, okay. If you don't work with energy, okay, if you don't work with Reiki, that might be something for some of you to look into, okay, to learn about. Because your hands, there's something about the hands that is very powerful for this specific collective reading here. Okay? Spiritual. We're ending with spiritual. Okay? It's like you have integrated parts of the self that were unseen. Yes, you've integrated parts of the self that are spiritual. You've it's like you're moving, again, that balance. You're going to be bringing something into the physical. As I had said with the King of Pentacles, there could be, it could be that you weren't always the most stable or structured within the physical, but you are bringing that in through spiritual integration. Okay, there's a great balance happening here between the physical and the spiritual. Activation. Okay, you are, and sacred geometry, which points to activation and sacred geometry, which points to the new vision card. Okay, you're doing some sort of like metaphysical work here. Okay, to manifest something very powerful into your reality, and you are doing this with a clear vision. It's like your spiritual glasses have been like you've scrubbed them off, and it's so clear. There's no fog, there's no blockages. It's just like light. It's like in my mind's eye right now, it's like it looks clearer than my eyes. Like it's 20/20 vision of the third eye. I felt like I sounded silly trying to get that energy out. But, okay, you're moving towards something very powerful for yourself, a very powerful manifestation, a portal of material abundance, okay, a material stability and structure. And you are moving through this portal at this time, where you see this portal very clearly. You know where you're going. Trust thyself through knowing thyself. Don't doubt yourself. Okay, do not doubt yourself. This ties into the last reading. Do not doubt yourself, as you know where you are going. You see clearly. You understand the self clearly. And you know what you are creating and how to get there. Okay, so keep doing you. This is extremely powerful energy. I'm fucking proud of you if no one's told you today. I hope this found everybody that it was meant for, and I hope it found you in a very open and receptive state. If you are interested or drawn to the way that I interpret my messages or read my cards, I am offering personal energetic readings for $35 at this time. So if you are interested, I will have my email either in the comments, but most likely in the bio, in my YouTube bio. Do not be afraid to reach out. We will communicate. We will work something out. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye.